And here we have the survivor of the Marco Specialties cap and bridge total rehab, which you've heard me rail against in the past. It's just a bad idea. And one more time, these two capacitors, C6 and C7, are both 15,000. They're in parallel, so together they make a 30,000 microfarad cap. That is the equivalent cap of the gigantic capacitor that's in the back box of every Williams 3 through 7 for sure, probably 9 and 11 also. No one has ever changed that cap because it doesn't make any difference. The only cap that ever makes a difference is this one in the center, which is C5, which is in a 5-volt circuit. Marco also sends a 100-volt, 200 microfarad cap for this location that is gigantic. It just doesn't fit. So I have sourced some so that I can fix that problem with this board. The through holes at C30 were torn, and of course you get no 12 volts if that's the case. So I have repaired those. The cap that was at that location was just too honked up for me to reinstall, so I installed one of my caps. Something to consider if you're going to go buy some caps is don't buy these gigantic twin tower, skyscraper caps. Find some that are close to or match the original diameter and height of the original caps. And I don't remember what that was, but I've measured it with a mic, and the caps that I use are as close as I could find. I've also replaced C2, that is. There was a little bit of damage there from somebody that previously replaced it, but I've cleaned that up. Replaced C4, of course. Weird thing, that LED, the bright one back there, that's one of mine. That's a new LED. Was not lighting. Don't know why. It had 70 volts, or had the 20 volts, but it wasn't lighting. So we're good to go now. Headers, power headers, GI headers, power headers. One more power header up there. I've been testing already, and we are in lamps and flashers mode right now. And those are both working just fine. Survivor. Oh boy. GI. Going backwards. Those are all working. Once I see all 5 of them bright up at the same time, they're working. No fuses blown on this board. Yeah, I'm glad to see that. Let's do some solenoid testing. I'm running with the WPC-DMD test ROM now, so this one tests each of the first 16 solenoids separately from the 12 flash lamp circuits. So it's easy to see when things are working correctly, and you can see there it is working correctly. Voltages coming off this board right now are 5, 12, the 15.2 is the unregulated 12, 21, and 74 are flash lamp and coil voltage. Even though the silk screen says 50 volts, coil voltage on all WPC games is about 70 volts. So thank you so much for sending this. Oh, sorry. I'll also put this one in 5401 blocking diode, which protects C11 in the event that some connections are made incorrectly. Well, now that I've removed all these caps, repaired the through holes, and then reinstalled the caps as I could, this board is good to go.